all eyes on the weekend as we are bracing for a significant amount of snow that Majestic, this area hasn't seen in quite some time.
I mean, even 1 inch of snow Charlotte hasn't seen since 2022. So putting that into perspective, and now we're telling you, well, you need to get ready for 4 to 7 inches to fall, not just in Charlotte, but most of our viewing area will be able to tap into that, with 4 inches being that lower amount that we're pretty confident that most of us will pick up, and then up to 7 inches. Areas shaded in that purple, 6 to 9, not out of the question. I mean, we are really getting you ready and prepared for, remember, this big winter storm system that will bring accumulating snowfall. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of it's happening and whether or not you're going to be ready for it. Look at this. I think this is really interesting. The National Weather Service has every single county across both North and South Carolina under winter storm watches and winter storm warnings. That'll be in place Saturday and Sunday. Now in Charlotte, we have our snow day tomorrow. That's when the snow is actually going to fall. However, those impacts, they will linger even on Sunday when the snow is done, and especially into Monday because of that bitter cold Arctic air. As far as the greatest impacts, we are looking at the snow being a high impact. I mean, 4 to 7 inches across the Carolinas, that's almost unheard of. Not only that, but that wind is going to cause drifting and blowing snow, limiting down visibility. And another thing we'll be watching will be the travel impacts. Of course, not everyone has the weekends off from work. I know that so many essential workers have to be out on those roadways. Make sure you're really planning for snow-covered roads, multiple inches of snow on the ground, and possibly even drifting and blowing snow that's going to reduce down that visibility. Let's get straight to our futurecast, timing this all out for you. Heading into this afternoon, I don't suspect any impacts here in Charlotte. Now in the mountains, we're already starting to see some very light snow flurries popping up on our radar. Here's 8 o'clock tonight, still just cold, cloudy across the Charlotte metro area, even south of us. But look at this. We'll start to see some of that snow moving as we're heading into tomorrow morning. So as you're waking up, drinking your coffee, those kids are waking up, starting their Saturday. I suspect that by the time most of us are waking up, there will be snow falling across most of our viewing area. This is 11 o'clock on Saturday. Temperatures into the teens and 20s, and at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, not only will we have widespread snow, but I also think that Saturday afternoon will be when those heavier bands of snow will start to set up. By that, we mean the areas that will actually receive a little bit more snow, because even though we have basically the entire Saturday to accumulate that snow, there'll be times where the snow is very light. Other times it could be coming down actually quite intensely. 5 o'clock on Saturday, if you had some Saturday night plans, you might want to postpone, because at this point we'll have multiple inches of snow on the ground. And remember, temperatures back behind it. That is going to be a big part of our weather story. I'm kind of excited for Sunday because, yes, I know it's going to be cold, but it's going to be sunny. So gorgeous. Just think of it. A blanket of snow on the ground, not even a single cloud in the sky. It's going to be really nice, especially for those who like to get out and you like to take really pretty pictures. The one thing that we're also watching with this storm system will be those strong northeasterly winds. This is going to be on Saturday. So as those snow bands are starting to make their way across the Carolinas, dumping a lot of snow, 25 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts in Charlotte, not out of the question for 45 to even 50 mile per hour wind gusts up in the mountains. And honestly, that's the worst thing when you already have such cold temperatures in place, because it makes it feel even colder than it already is. Going from 41 degrees today for a high to 26 by tomorrow, struggling to warm on Sunday. But here's the thing, we could see several hours in a row from Friday night through Sunday where we're actually locked in below freezing, because those are our highs. But once we switch it over to our lows, I mean, this is going to be problematic. If you're not prepared for the snow, I need you to really be prepared for the cold. That does include pipes, pets. If you have to be out in this cold, you don't want any exposed skin, because we're talking about hypothermia and frostbite in little to no time. Let's take a look at this, just wrapping everything up. Again, we have a WCNC weather impact alert weekend. We have our snow day on Saturday. Good timing on Saturday for most of us. Hopefully you can kind of just cozy on up, stay inside, stay nice and warm. And then on Sunday, remember, that's when we're still very cold, and we are are still weather impact alert for Sunday because of how cold it will be. 31 degrees for our high, single digits as we're heading out the door on Monday. And then even temperatures on Monday as a whole start to rise just a bit above that freezing mark. So we'll probably start to see a little bit of melting on Monday afternoon, but then another refreeze Monday and into Tuesday with temperatures dipping back down into the teens. Guys.